love to watch the American, how they teach. Anyway, we have also the English service. I'm privileged to have Pastor Adette. You heard her preach. Also Pastor James, Pastor Jay. I'm also blessed with pastor from India. His name is Pastor Bipin. I don't know if you heard about him. And also the Spanish pastor, Pastor Roberto Gonzalez. So all these pastors with different languages, we put them on a social media. And especially Pastor Bipin, who is now preaching in Hindi-English service. It means Hindi and English. He mixed it. He has about always like 1,000 views every time. Over the week, you add them all up, it's going to be like 1,000 views. Well, I'm privileged also to have the Tagli service in the afternoon, in the evening, it's 6 o'clock every Sunday, and you can watch the handsome pastor there speaking in English and Tagalog. Are there any non-Tagalog speaking here, or you don't understand? Okay, 1, 2, who else? Who else? You don't understand Tagalog or Filipino? Who else? That guy up there, there's this beautiful lady up here and back there. Who cares? Just kidding. Anyway, talking about the church, okay? Let me ask you first, how is everybody doing? How are you after 21 years? I know some of you were not here 21 years ago, but most of you are, especially maybe Sister Vivian. And I look forward of her leadership one day. And I know I get a strong sense of vision for her. She's a great teacher, and I can tell. Well then, we're privileged to be part of this ministry. You see, the Church of the Nazarene was founded by a Methodist pastor. That's Phineas Brizzi, Dr. Phineas Brizzi, back in the 1800 or 1898. And the Church of the Nazarene was established back in 1906 when there was a great revival. And cut the story short, the Church of the Nazarene started in Los Angeles, California, there in Wall Street, downtown. And it slowly have gone right now it's in 3rd Street and Vermont. It went that far. Why? Because Phineas Brizzi, his heart, his compassion are for the poor people. He fed the homeless even back then in the 1900s. Homeless already existed. Poor people, that's his heart. And a lot of people, a lot of the leaders of the church back then criticized Phineas because homeless, they have no money. They have nothing to support the church. But Phineas Brizzi saw a vision back then. Because of what he's going to do, God will bless him and the church. So he was able to establish the church. He called it the Church of the Nazarene. Back then, we were with Pentecostal church. So over a period of time, now the Nazarene Church is well organized. In fact, we have in that church in LA, we have a non-profit foundation called Brizzi Foundation. And that Brizzi Foundation, they named it after Dr. Brizzi. They take care of all the street kids, poor kids. And they grew. God blessed that non-profit. You know why? Because there's about 700 college students completed their studies from street to college. And they all went to, a decent university like UCLA. Now, who supported them? And God, of course, touched the hand of the corporation like Apple Computer, Wells Fargo. They send numerous donations that was able to feed and also support the kids. So, when you talk about the church, Jesus, we know, He established this back then. In the New Testament, he said, upon this rock I will build my church. And before he left, he gave us a command. It's to his disciples. And I would like to read the scripture back in John 13, okay, from verse 31 to 38. Shall we all rise and give reverence to the word of the Lord? It's on the PowerPoint. I don't know what version that you have, but I do have the ESV version. Let me hold the mic. Beginning in verse 31, when he had gone out, Jesus said, now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and glorify him at once. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. You will seek me, and just as I said to the Jew, so now I also say to you, where I am going, you cannot come. Now this is our key verse today, or tonight. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. You also are to love one another. By this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have loved one another. Let's continue in verse 36. Simon Peter said to him, Lord, where are you going? Jesus answered him, where I am going, you cannot follow me now, but you will follow. Take note of that. You will follow. The church, all of us, will follow. Afterward, Peter said to him, Lord, why can I not follow you now? I will lay down my life for you. Jesus answered, will you lay down your life for me? Truly, truly, I say unto you, the rooster will not crow till you have denied me 3 times. The Lord bless your heart as we all read and heard His word. You may all be seated.